What's going on, everybody? This is Scott, also known as ChaChingKing. The #1 request I get is to make shipping easier. So let's go ahead and let me show you step by step exactly what I do when I've got something to ship. As much as humanly possible, I'm going to slow it down and just make it easy. I realize there's people out there that ship faster, they go through the steps faster, and they do the bulk shipping. Most of the people that watch my channel are just getting started. I want to take the anxiety out of this and make this doable. There's a few things that you're going to need on hand before you need to ship something. I have an old bookcase that I made that I keep a ton of supplies on, but it's fairly well organized and I can find the things on that I need. I have some thank you stickers and my tape very close at hand. Thank you stickers and tape are right there. You need a scale, and I use a Rollo scale with a separate digital counter, and we will make sure I show you that too. And I use a thermal printer, and I've actually, I don't know if it shows in my, right there, I have actually hooked up and tested an inexpensive model for you to try. It's one of the biggest expenses you're going to have when you first get started. What I want to do is kind of show you on the computer how I do that part of it. Like most of my tutorials, I always start from the seller hub. I've got 6 things to ship today, but I'm not going to make you watch all of them, but there are 3 of them I want you to see. I will block out personal information and things like that. So on tasks, I'm going to go to print, labels, and ship. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom to the 3 that I'm going to ship. So these are the 3 items that I'm going to ship. We're going to start with the Brookstone, and we're going to put that in a box. And then we're going to ship a Bugatti sweater. And then we're going to ship a t-shirt. The t-shirt's cool. I'll cover a little bit more of that when I get to it. So let's go ahead and click on Get Shipping Label. It's this box right here. And a lot of this information here will be information that I have entered when I listed the item. To the right-hand side, you'll have your item. It's the order details. I'll have the item and the person that it's going to. Keep in mind, I'll block that out. And my ship to return address and the buyer's name and all of those things. One of the questions that I get is about the packing slip. You can print a packing slip. There's absolutely nothing wrong with printing it. I have made about 18,000 sales just on this eBay account alone, and I've never included one, and I've never had anybody ask. So could I? Sure. To me, it's just an extra expense that hasn't ever come up. If anybody ever wanted one, be happy to print them one. So let's go ahead and get this boxed up so that you can see it and see how exactly I'm going to do that. And then we'll come back to this and we'll enter that information in there. This is the item that I'm shipping. Not terribly expensive. It was already solid within the package. I've started a box for this. The thing you need to remember when you put your item in here is that you don't want this thing flying around. I use bubble wrap. I use a lot of bubble wrap. I always opt for American Bubble Boy these days because I live way out in the country. It's never convenient for me to go buy any, and they ship it straight to my door, and it's super fast. Like, I don't know how they get it to me as fast as they do because of where I'm at. So I'm going to put some bubble wrap around this because if I seal this up like this thing is just going to be sliding around in there, and I don't want it to get broken before it gets here. So let's put some bubble wrap around this. Once I've got it pretty much ready to seal up, I'm going to close this and make sure that my box has plenty of room. Normally, I'll pick it up and shake it, make sure it's just not going crazy in there. And I keep my tape with my thank you stickers. And just like that. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick, and it's going to look stupid, but it's what I do. Today, it's been raining, and it's very humid, and if you're like me and you stress at all about anything coming open, I keep this right here in my shipping station. It's a spoon, and it allows me to very quickly make sure that my tape is stuck down. Just like that. So obviously this box says what size it is on the package. It is extremely important if you're shipping, especially if you use used boxes or you're not positive what size it is, that you have a tape measure in your shipping station. Now we need to get a weight on it. So let's move over to the my scale, and I'll put a camera on it so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. Let me show you exactly what that process looks like. All I do at this point is, that's why I like this with the side, because it's never hard to see. So this is going to come in at just over 2 pounds. Now that we know the weight, we can finish what we were doing on the computer. So let's bump over there and let's knock this out real quick. So originally I entered 4 pounds. It was a little proud. I'm going to change that to 3 pounds. Now, I always round up when I am shipping, always. So even though it was 2 pounds, 2 ounces, I round up. So here's the good news though. Let's say that you make a mistake and you accidentally enter a 2 pounds and you ship it. If you bought your label through eBay, I know, because I get them, that you're going to get a cost adjustment if it gets caught. So what would happen is if I ship this at 2 pounds and it's 2 pounds and 3 ounces, they're not going to ship it back to me and the buyer doesn't get it. My buyer still gets taken care of. They just bill me for the difference. Here's what's super cool about the post office and how it integrates with eBay. Let's say that I put 4 pounds. They also will adjust it if you paid too much. So I'm a huge fan of the way that works. Let's go ahead and get our dimensions in here. And when I click off of this, you'll see that right now it's 1135. It's going to adjust it. Drops down to 1012. I'm going to scroll down a little bit and show you some of the different choices that I have. I have it as USPS Ground Advantage. Ground Advantage replaced First Class, and I love it. First Class only went up to 1 pound, and then you were forced to use Priority or a different service after that. With Ground Advantage, the weight limit is very, very high, so I can ship something that's actually way heavier than anything I would ship. So if I ship through Ground Advantage, which is what we're going to do with this one, it's going to cost me $10.12. I charge $9.99. Now, don't forget, when you're building your shipping prices, that not only do I have to pay the $10.12, that box isn't free, and the bubble wrap isn't free, tape isn't free, and even printing a label isn't free. You're still going to have to pay for that. The cost of the thermal labels is way cheaper than like an inkjet or something like that, but still not free. And when eBay charges you their eBay fees, the eBay fees is on the total price paid by the buyer. So there's up to about 15% of the $10.12, another $1.50 for shipping. So I normally have enough baked into the cost of my item that a little bit of difference doesn't hurt me one way or the other, but you need to be aware of it when you're building your pricing structure. So let's look at the difference if I shipped this with Priority. If I ship this with Priority, it would be $14.04. So it would be about $4 more. That's not something I want to do on an inexpensive item. When I would go with Priority over Ground Advantage, if speed was really an issue, because Priority is typically faster, and because it's faster, it's in somebody else's hands less time, and I feel like there's less chance of it being damaged. I've got mine packaged well. Nothing should happen. We're not at a time of year where it's going to be a Christmas present. So I'm going to click down here where it says print shipping label. And that will bring up this page right here. Up here in the top corner, you're going to see it says Orgsta. That's the printer I'm going to use. It's one of the least expensive ones on the market. And all of this right here, user defined, it's just on user. I didn't have to do, I literally, with this one, I didn't have to do anything. As far as your label goes, all of the information is over here. I will block the buyer's address and the tracking, but all of this right here. And when I click print, as long as I've selected the right printer, it prints my label just like that. So let's go ahead and take this back to the box and show you how easy this is to do. So now I have my label. I've covered the buyer's information. This peels off just like that. And now when I put this down, this package is ready to go to the post office. People have asked me, do I have to pay again at the post office? No. When you buy your label through eBay, they take the money out of the proceeds from the sale. So if the buyer paid for the item and whatever shipping you charge, whatever that total is, your label comes out of that. eBay gives the money that the post office gets from this. They pay the post office. So this right here, when I finish this video, I'm heading to our post office to drop it off. If you live somewhere where they have door-to-door pickup, you can put it in your mailbox and put the flag up. This is ready for your postal carrier to pick it up. So this is ready to go. Let's go ahead and ship a sweater, and I'm going to ship this one priority just so that you can see it. I'm going to use a padded flat rate envelope. Now, this isn't what I would normally ship the sweater in because it's going to be overkill. It probably doesn't need it, and ground advantage would be fine. I just want you to see it. So I have a Bugatti sweater I sold. Normally, I will take and put a thank you sticker on there. How this is packaged with this Ziploc, this is how Melody and I store our items. Once we have an item listed, shipping it is super easy because it's pretty much ready to go. Oftentimes I say that if I can open it, I will squeeze out any air that's trapped in it to get a nice clean fit like that. And then these, when you're using a padded or the flat rate envelope, that goes in there just like that. And this one will be ready to put a label on. So let me show you how it works when you're using a flat rate versus what we just did with weighing everything. So let's pop back over to the computer. So it's still on the screen where I just shipped my last item, and I'm going to go back to orders. And listen, I know there are other ways to do this. I know that you can bulk labels and you can just blow through this so much faster. It's not how we do it. We haven't built our business around sprinting. We have built our business around a lifestyle that just works for us. I'm going to scroll back down and I'm going to find the Bugatti sweater and I'm going to click Get Shipping Label. So you'll notice that I had 2 pounds. Well, that size is way off. Normally it'd be 10 by 13 by 3. And right now it's ground advantage. Ground advantage would cost me $9.05. Primarily because it's going to Pennsylvania. But let's scroll down and I'm going to show you another choice. Compare all services. And right here is USPS Priority Flat Rate Padded Envelope. And it's $9.45. Well, first of all, it's only about 40 cents more than what I was going to do anyway. And if I used one of my own envelopes, those aren't free. These, your shipping supplies for priority, you can get from the post office or you can order them directly from the post office for free. Now, they are only to be used for priority mail. If you are using this as packing inside something else, or you think that you can use a priority box and then cover it where nobody can see it, that's against the law. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want you to mess it up for the rest of us. But I'm shipping this priority, and I'm shipping it as a flat rate. What flat rate means is that it's going to cost me the same no matter how much it weighs. If I could put up to 70 pounds in this envelope, I don't think it fit, but up to 70 pounds in there. And because it's the padded flat rate envelope, the post office already knows what size it is. So when I click this right here, it changed my price to $9.45. Let's print that label. And once again, all my information should be there. I click print. My label is ready, and it is this fast. That's it. Also, I keep my trash can right here at my feet when I'm shipping. Just tip. Let's get this last one shipped, and then I've got to get the rest of my shipping done and go to do my real job. And I'm going to ship this right here. Do you know what this is? This is an NBA draft combine shirt. This isn't something you could go out and buy. And I think I got over $40 for this, plus shipping. So super, super cool. If you didn't watch the video of this, I have a new channel where we're showing the storage lockers and the private pics and things that Melody and I get to go on. So I don't think I showed this shirt in the video, but there was a ton of game-worn jerseys and basketballs. Go check that out. I'll put a link for it in my description. I'd love to have you subscribe to the new channel if you're interested in the picking part of it. That channel isn't going to impact my regular tutorials that I'm doing. All right, so this right here, I am going to put a thank you sticker on it. I have a few of them that I've got. Normally, I try and pick a thank you sticker that looks good on the package. So let's get this a little bit of the air out of there. I'm going to ship this in a bubble mailer. I like these because they're very, very tough on the outside. This is really hard to tear. And the bubble mailer itself, it sends a signal to the person that I cared about what I was shipping. I get all of mine at this point from a company called Gyropack, and I do have a discount code for you if you want to use it. But I like it because they're super consistent, and I just like them. So here's how simple this is. Once this is ready to go, I am going to slide this in here. And that tape is going to hold. It isn't going to be something that I'm going to have to wrestle with. One of the things that I was concerned about when I first started shipping was this isn't flat. It bends, and I didn't know that doesn't matter. Having a little flexibility in the package, it isn't going to affect the post office one way or the other. So this right here is ready to buy a label for. So let's do that. Once again, I'm going to go back to orders. I'm going to scroll down to my NBA Draft Combine shirt. Let me show you this shirt. Is that not the coolest thing that you've ever seen? I love stuff like this. And think about it. I got $45 for a t-shirt plus shipping. All right, get shipping label. And I am going to have to weigh that. And it comes in at 9.2 ounces. I've got 12 ounces here, and I'm going to leave that, and let me tell you why. The post office breaks down their pricing for Ground Advantage from 0 to 4 ounces cost one amount, and then 4 to 8 ounces will cost another amount, depending upon where it's going and what it weighs. 8 to 12 is going to cost me the same amount for this shirt. So right now it's at $4.89. Watch what happens if I change this to 9 ounces. It didn't change it at all. I like to leave myself a little padding. Like I said, I round up on everything anyway, and I want to make sure that nothing is going to impact this and kick it into another dimension. So 12 ounces, I've got my size in there. I've got Ground Advantage on it, so I am going to go ahead and purchase that shipping label. And another label is ready. There's no question at all that shipping produces more anxiety for new resellers than everything else combined. You don't talk to experienced resellers who have the same anxiety over shipping. And what that means is experience is going to fix this problem for you. If you have your supplies on hand and you've done a good job of having a pretty good idea what they weigh and the dimensions are going to be beforehand, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And the only other tip that I have for you, allow yourself the grace of making a few mistakes. You might make a mistake, and you know what? It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Take care of your customer the best that you can, and the rest of it is just a learning experience. And I'm rooting for you. Let's make 2025 the year that you get things set up exactly the way that you want. That's it for this video. I appreciate you watching. I'm going to see you real soon on the next one. Bye.